How's it going, Kings? Hope you're having a great day. It's your boy. He's literally me, bro. And today I wanted to talk about a certain Vice article that a King sent to me. So, essentially, I came out of work and I was about to head to the gym, and I opened up my messages from my page, and a King sent me this article, and it was a Vice article, and I wanted to talk about it. So, before we begin, most people know what Vice is or who Vice is. If you don't, essentially Vice is this really cringy, really bad, like left-leaning, progressive news article website or outlet. And it's just really bad. So generally speaking, you know, most news reporters, most journalists, right? They're not really people. They're basically the Antichrist. They're basically the Antichrist in a suit or something. All of them, or at least most of them. And it's just kind of cringe. And essentially, Vice is that, but dialed to 11. Vice is they're really bad. And so, you know, if you see anything from Vice, I don't think Vice has like really ever had good articles. I could be wrong. I don't look them up. I just see that basically they post like really left-leaning stuff, and then you can't help but see it because somebody shares it, and and literally Vice just came up with the dumbest thing possible. So that's the context. That's who we're dealing with. Most of you probably already knew that. So I wanted to get into the article today. And essentially, so Vice posted this article, and the name of the article is "The Rise of the Sigma Male, a New Kind of Toxic Masculinity." Oh boy. Alright, so normally that on its own would be enough, but obviously the main poster child, the main graphic of our news today is our boy, the king of literally me, Patrick Bateman. So once I saw that, right, and that's on the thumbnail too if you look up this article, so I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be a good one, right? And so I want to read this with you guys today. I have like quickly skimmed portions of this news article. It's not really that big. Vice doesn't really like, they're not really too good at investigating and coming up with like good descriptions of things. They just kind of like quickly just come up with some really cringe takes and then jot it down in a few paragraphs. So this should be relatively quick, hopefully. But I'm going to talk about it today as it pertains to our boy, literally me, Patrick Bateman. So before we begin, I just pulled up really quickly the author of the article here. And first thing you got to know, the author is Rib and French. So that's literally the basically two of the worst things you could be in the world, right? And I just wanted to highlight this. This French chick right now is currently writing an article to tell you what's good masculinity and what's bad masculinity. I looked up their Twitter, and I do not condone looking them up and harassing them or cyberbullying them or anything. Don't waste your time, but also don't do that sort of thing. But I looked them up on Twitter, and their Twitter is French, so I can't understand a single thing, but they're cringe. And if you look at some of their past stuff, it's also cringe too, right? This lady, she doesn't really, I don't see any credentials where she could really be talking about what is a real man or anything. I don't see like any sort of like shred of testosterone or any sort of like good thing coming from her, right? So we're going to look at this, and okay, so you can see, okay, the rise of the Sigma male, right? Okay, that's the one we're going to talk about. Look at this other crap she has written before. Hitchhiking can be risky as a woman, but I love it. Dude, this lady, I think, is taking money from, like, human traffickers or something if she's writing stuff like this. Like, she is, like, helping human traffickers, dude. And then, like, you look at other stuff that she's written before, right? On the trail with trainee private detectives. Dude, okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you guys have ever seen any sort of noir or film or something, right? You know that good detectives, okay, you don't train to be a private detective, right? Essentially, how you become a private detective is you're based, the streets are cold, right? And at one point you were probably like a cop or a detective, and now you just work privately, okay? You don't go to college and get a 4-year degree on becoming a private detective. You're just built different, and you become a private detective. So obviously this chick is straight up posting some serious friggin' cringe, and she literally for the past like year or so, she posts like one article every 4 months, and before that she posted like one article every once a month, right? And gosh, dude, I hope this isn't her only job, because like, dude, if I'm, and you know, like the journalists, they live comfortably to push the like the freaking Rothschild agenda, basically. So, dude, I mean, if she's literally coming up with some, and I'm about to show you this article, from what I've seen so far, is actually pretty bad. If she's literally posting like this once every 6 months and then living comfortably off of it, dude, I'm gonna be so mad. All right, so we're gonna look at the article, and so we have the article. Okay. Here we go. Listen to the article. So if, like, you know, you're inbred or whatever the word is, you can't read, okay, you can listen to it, but we're not gonna, you can listen to me talk about it. So you look up, we got our boy Patrick Bateman right here, and we're just gonna read this. So it says, eyebrows furrowed, arrows narrowed to a slit, mouth pressed in an O. Over the last few months, the frown to smile expression of Patrick Bateman, the protagonist. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there real quick. The fact that she said Patrick Bateman is the protagonist, you can be a main character and not be the quote-unquote protagonist of a thing, right? So if you've watched American Psycho, I guess you can sort of say that he's the protagonist, but also, I'd more call him the antagonist of the movie, I ain't gonna lie. Like, he's literally me, bro. He is, but I wouldn't call him the protagonist. Maybe I'm the protagonist in real life, because, you know, I'm the main character, but, like, I wouldn't call Patrick Bateman the protagonist. So, anyways, basically has flooded the platform, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Zoomers that were probably in the nutsack when this movie came out are figuring out about him, and they're sharing it to TikTok and all that crap. Now, I don't have a TikTok. I don't watch TikToks. You know, I'm straight, right? And I have testosterone in my body. So TikTok's not really my thing, but he has blown up on TikTok. But obviously, she's not really doing her investigations if she's not seeing all the other places that he's blowing up, right? Like, we have big pages dedicated to him on Facebook. So, and he's all over the place. A lot of Sigma, literally me characters are. So the fact that she's only finding Patrick Bateman is kind of depressing, right? She didn't really do her homework yet. She's going to try to school you on what it is to be a man. So anyways, we're going to keep going. So most of the video edits of some of the movie's most iconic scenes, including his morning routine and his dinner with his frenemy Paul Allen. Bateman is dissecting and reveals a lifestyle model that mostly boils down to getting money and hot women without any strings attached. Okay, so real quick, I don't know if they're trying to paint him as a bad man so far. Okay, with the exception of, oh yeah, he killed Paul Allen, which, I mean, is fair, but it's within the context of the story, right? Most of this, right? Oh, so movie's iconic scenes, including his morning routine. His morning routine where he gets up and he literally takes care of his body and he works out, okay, that's pretty based. Getting money and getting hot women, okay, yeah, that's pretty based, right? That's literally based. That's, you know, what you should do. Well, you shouldn't get women. You should get one woman, one hot woman. But I mean, as far as people who sit here, and I think this is what this lady doesn't understand, is essentially the saying that a fictional character is literally you has been around for forever. You talk to any boomer, right, that were watching like 1980s films, and they were watching like Sylvester Stallone and all that, right? The looking at a character, a fictional character, is someone you can look up to, someone who's doing better than you in life, has been, and saying, I want to be like them, has been around for forever. And it's generally a good thing, because even when these characters do bad stuff, you can sit there and say, well, I'm not going to do the bad parts, right? You can, like, easily, like, dude, if everybody who liked these Patrick Bateman memes were doing everything Patrick Bateman did, like a lot of like axe murders and like naked chainsaw murders would have gone up by a gazillion%, but obviously they didn't, because humans can generally tell right from wrong. Okay, what she's not getting is that when you see this guy and he's able and he has the discipline to take care of himself and make money and get women, right? And a lot of guys, you know, if they had that, their lives would be better, right? If you had a woman, if you had money, if you had the great job, your life would be better. So you see people like this and you say, I'm going to be just like him. He's literally me. And that's it. She's not getting that. She's not getting the fact that there's a lot of people in this day and age that want to better themselves. And how they do it is when they see a fictional character, they say, I'm going to do like X, Y, and Z what he does. All right, but anyways, I got off on a tangent, so we're gonna keep going. So, who knows? Need a recap? Blah blah blah. He's slowly sinking into madness as he murders people, and okay, so basically, who slowly. All right, so controversy in like this day and age, controversy like doesn't stop shit, right? For the most part, if you're based, it doesn't stop you. If you're cringe, you know, you're just cringe, but. Because it features murder. like that's not even controversy today. But anyways, long story short, Patrick Bateman's this rich, golden banker boy, and he succeeds in everything he does. And now he's 27 years old and fit, and he can do whatever he wants. And basically, the point is, and what a lot of people sort of, I think, what a lot of people sort of relate to with Patrick Bateman is he's gotten to a point where, you know, and he feels like he needs to constantly maintain himself. He needs to work out, right? But I think where a lot of people relate to Patrick Bateman is that his surroundings are not working for him, okay? So he's in, right? So Patrick Bateman is in, he's sort of stuck in an environment, right? He's stuck in an environment where he just kind of works in a big city. And it's not, he doesn't feel fulfilled with his life, right? And he goes to work and he doesn't feel fulfilled. And a lot of people relate to that. And I think where they see it is they see that Patrick Bateman, he sort of like goes a little crazy. He goes a little goblin mode, right? He goes a little goblin mode. And he sort of lets loose and he murders a few people. Okay, fair enough. And I think what people can relate to is, you know, they were like, oh, you know, they're not actually going to go out and they're going to murder people as a way to lash out at how they don't like their surroundings. But they can relate to somebody saying, okay, well, I need to find a way to take control of my life because, you know, the surroundings that we have nowadays suck. A lot of people relate to that, and that's where they get into the relation with Patrick Bateman. And a lot of people can tell right from wrong, which is where the story is good and why he's a literally me character, is you understand that, okay, you're not actually going to murder people, but because it's a fictional story meant to entertain, they have taken it and put it up to 11. Right? They have gone crazy with it. Like, okay, well, basically, so he's going to go absolutely fucking nuts and murder people at night. And he can't help himself. So anyways, yeah. So that's where a lot of stuff where they fail to understand is like people could see right from wrong, but they can relate to like the reason behind the story, right? So anyways, we're gonna continue. And they say, no shit, men online are more lost than ever. Okay, Rib, shut the fuck up, dude. See, here's the thing, dude. This woman, who probably has never even held, like, a man's hand, dude, in real life, right? She's probably a femcel. She's probably, like, bruh, like, she's like, oh, bruh, men, like, okay, fair enough. I think there's, like, a lot of men that don't exactly, because of how the world is, and this relates back to why people relate to Patrick Bateman, their surroundings suck. They're not given, like Patrick Bateman, you know, he's literally me. They're not really, at this point in life, they don't have a direction. The way society is doesn't really let men have a purpose. Society sucks now, and it's going to suck for men. And for a lot of men. And that's, you know, that's basically it. But she's all like, oh, men are more lost than ever. And this is where she really doesn't really get what's going on, right? And so she goes, men are more lost than ever, to the point where they're turning the psychopathic killer into a point of reference. Yes and no. So we're more lost than ever because we relate to somebody who even when they have what they want, they don't have direction, they don't really have a purpose in the grand scheme of things, and it leaves them feeling void of, the validation, right? Patrick Bateman seeks validation, he seeks pleasures, that sort of thing, right? And a lot of people are like, well, a lot of people, they're not going to have, a lot of people in this day and age, the screwed up society we have that doesn't really let men be based, honest men, are going to relate to Patrick Bateman, and she's completely not getting this. She's completely not getting this. That we're looking at Patrick Bateman because we can tell right from wrong, but we can also see, that, okay, this is him reacting to a certain way. To this really cringe surroundings, right, that society really has today. So we're going to keep going. Bateman is hailed for not conforming to the models of masculinity that's arisen in the Web 2.0. Okay, that's word salad. She has no freaking clue what she's saying. Like I said, dude, it's a rib. It's a woman, okay? No idea what the masculinity is. No idea anything about guys. All right, so we're gonna keep going. He's neither an alpha, a dominant asshole at the top of social hierarchy. That's what she says an alpha is. Okay, dominant. Okay, all right. Nor a beta, a submissive loner who will never get a girl. Couldn't be me. No, okay, but we're gonna keep going. So he's neither an alpha nor a beta. Bateman represents a new model of masculinity, the Sigma male. Okay, that's not new. I literally have seen the word Sigma male since like 2018 maybe. It's been around, like, especially when you had like the Chad versus Virgin memes that were like big around 2018. Like, I've seen it forever. We keep going. According to Google Trends, the Sigma male search term first appeared in early 2021. Okay, again, it's been around longer than that. See, this chick doesn't understand why we like him or why we feel the way we do, and she literally just writes, like, she Googled it once, and that's like what she based her entire article off of. Dude, if this chick makes more than like 10K US dollars a year off this, like, I'm gonna go cry, because this is crazy. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She did one Google search and she thinks she knows. So we're going to keep going. According to Google Trends, the Sigma male search term first appeared in early 2021, quickly gained popularity over the past 2 years. In 2023, Sigma has over 46 billion views on TikTok. Okay, so like the only thing she knows is TikTok and how to Google things. Okay, great. Yeah, we're dealing with an absolute Einstein here. All right, that's wonderful, boys. That's wonderful. Sigmas are known as the rarest males on Earth, which makes them irresistible to women. The meme is that if you're a Sigma, you'll be irresistible to women, but there's plenty of Sigma characters that are just not irresistible to women, right? Like if you look at Travis Bickle, right? He's a Sigma character, but he's not irresistible to women. He literally gets turned down by a woman in the movie. So she doesn't understand us, okay? This chick did not do any sort of, like, decent look into it. Like, I don't even think that she did any sort of interview or asked any person in the meme sphere, right? Like, why they like this, why they think this way. She Googled, like, 2 words and wrote an entire article. And liberals eat this stuff up because this is what they want to think. This isn't what's true. So it's saying Sigma males, they're at the top with the alphas, but they're outside the hierarchy. Maybe? I don't understand the point of that. But, whatever. So it says here, instead of boasting about their status like alphas, Sigmas tend to be the mysterious loner types. Again, not really. I think that she probably saw like 1 or 2 memes and then based her entire understanding on what we think a Sigma is, right? So A Sigma male can be, you know, the mysterious loner type, right? But the Sigma male can also be like just an absolute Chad, right? The Sigma male can be an absolute Chad who goes out there and helps people and is nice to people. And a Sigma male in the meme community doesn't have to be the mysterious loner type. So, again, this lady has no idea what she's talking about with memes, okay? And we're going to continue. So they think outside the box, they accept themselves, and they're proud to be different. So they're mysterious loners, but they think outside the box, they're proud to be different. Lady, did you proofread what you wrote? Like, a Sigma male can accept themselves and be proud to be different, and a Sigma male can be mysterious and loner, but they can also be one or the other, and I really don't see most Sigma male types being both of these at the same time. I really don't. Because those things juxtapose each other, or they're the opposite of each other, right? So I don't think she like proofread this at all. Anyways, so it says here they attract success and respect. Fair. Basically, they're perfect, and you can be a Sigma male and be really good, and be honest about what you're not perfect about. And I think that's just like a big thing she's not getting. Is this isn't some thing where like it's dog eat dog world, like all the Sigma memes, right? The Sigma memes, there can be some dog eat dog world people, but a lot of the people that do the based Sigma male, literally me stuff, they literally hype each other up. They hype up their kings. They work together. They can really be great people. And she's not getting this. But it's all about alpha. It's all about hierarchy. It's all about stepping on each other. It's all about, you know, she thinks they're all loners. It's basically they think they hurt each other. If that was the case, you wouldn't have the huge community that we do of Sigma male, literally me, people trying to be like that. Well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Anyways, so it says here, and Bateman, I'm Batman, a man sophisticated enough to wear a suit and murder a homeless person is their aesthetic king. Okay, first off, dude, if you gotta get your merc on a homeless person, of course you're wearing a suit. You gotta look good for that, dude. You ever play Payday? If you're gonna make shit rock and roll, of course you're wearing a suit. Okay? If Patrick Bateman walked up looking like a homeless person, it would have been cringe. Okay, so yeah, obviously he's wearing a suit. So we're gonna continue. I didn't know about Sigmas until I came across the videos about Patrick Bateman a few months ago. Says Fred26. Okay, earlier I said she probably didn't interview anyone. She interviewed one person. It's probably just her like younger half brain dead cousin or something. But anyways, so she interviews this dude named Fred. Who's 26 years old. I can understand why people think it's disturbing that our role model's a serial killer, but what inspires us is everything else about Patrick Bateman. It's just fiction. I mean, fair, that's sort of what I just said. But it's not just Patrick Bateman. And it's a whole community of people that literally see... the community of people that can see fictional characters that have bad surroundings, see bad people who work on themselves, and either help to improve the area around them, or they snap and they deal with it, right? And it's not just Patrick Bateman, right? And I think a lot of people who see these Patrick Bateman memes have seen other people. They've seen Travis Bickle. They've seen Driver. They've seen like Agent K from Blade Runner. They've seen the other people. It's not just Patrick Bateman, right? So we're going to continue. So before Fred fell down the Sigma content wormhole, he was watched... Dude. Okay, so I have this pulled up at 11:40. And this person's in France, so it was probably like midday when they shared it. I think... I'm in the American Midwest, so France is probably like 7, 8, 9 hours ahead of me. So it's probably like morning or midday when they shared this. But it's been an entire day to proofread this. They should have proofread this before they posted it. They should have put it through Grammarly or something, but you know, they didn't. So hold on, I lost my thing, but this is terrible. So before Fred fell down the Sigma content wormhole, he watched personal development videos on YouTube and TikTok, and discovered his favorite role models and lead characters: Peaky Blinders, Mad Men, American Psycho. They know where they want to go, and they're a bit different from other people. They aren't popular. They're a bit like me. Okay, to be fair, that's sort of like why a lot of people like it, right? It's somebody who's they're not cookie cutter made from society. They weren't made by society to fit in society, right? At some point, a lot of the people that like the Sigma male grind set memes, right? Because we're all Sigma males on the grind, is at some point you're not normal and you don't fit in with the normal stuff like that easily. So we're going to keep reading. But film critics debate the Sigma interpretation of Bateman's character. Oh, Jesus. The film critics are debating if Bateman's character is Sigma. Bro, film critics can, like, suck my left nut and write on my right one, right? I don't care about them. But in the movie, the identity of the Wall Street banker is a lot more complex. Although Bateman's bloodlust is largely seen as a critique of capitalist greed. Yeah, dude, this is Vice. This is Vice. The character is also enthralled by consumerism and power. I'd say that's accurate. He is... Yeah, Bateman is very much seeks validation with his consumerism. He might have antisocial tendencies, but he also seeks validation from others and is terrified of the idea of losing his social status. That's true. That's an honest part of the movie. So we'll keep going. Besides the core message of the core message of this boys' club is sadly familiar. Life is a permanent struggle between those who dominate and those who are dominated. I feel like Patrick Bateman as a character feels that way. But I think where the problem is, and I think they keep trying to focus on the bad stuff, like Patrick Bateman going goblin mode and stuff. Like, they're trying to focus on the bad stuff of Patrick Bateman and then basically framing it as the Sigma males on the grind set who like these literally me characters are taking the most toxic forms and just becoming super toxic and super bad with no wills of their own. And I think that's what she's trying to frame it as, but, you know, she's just kind of a dumb, like, chick, and she doesn't know what she's talking about, right? Where, you know, there's, obviously, you know, you want to be on the grind, you want to work on yourself, you want to get better, you know, you want to help out the kings, you want to be with the kings, you want to be liked and respected by the kings, but it's not about hurting other kings and stepping on other kings to get that, right? So it says here, Sigmas are still falling for the same narrative. They're just trying to cheat code their way to the top with cunning strategies and supposedly independent thinking. Can you elaborate on that? We're going to keep reading and see if she elaborates on that. They long for a world where men are in charge and their communities are filled with misogynistic and homophobic exchanges. Okay, that's based. All right, sweet, based. I finally feel seen with this article. All right, based. But she's not. She just wrote this up. Again, this is word salad. She has no idea what she's saying. Trying to cheat code their way to the top with cunning strategies, supposed independent thinking. Literally, Patrick Bateman had to, you know, he had to work to get where he was. You know, he probably came from a rich family, when, you know, that helps in getting a good college and stuff. But he's literally an educated man. He literally works out, you know, like, legitimately too. Like, there's literally one scene in the movie, and this is big, where, like, you know, the lady's like, you know, I have yogurt, right? You want a bite of yogurt? And literally a bite of yogurt is nothing. And Patrick Bateman's like, no, you know, I can always be thinner. I can always be healthier. And, right, Patrick Bateman goes through a lot to be the person he is. He doesn't do any cheat code cunning strategies that I really remember. I mean, other than killing people he doesn't like. But I mean, you know, that's just like, you know, you gotta, sometimes it just kind of happens a little bit, right? So but she doesn't really go into context of what she's saying here or how this is true. She just says it because that's That's what this, you know, cringe lady wants you to believe. So it says, but if the internet has taught us anything, it's not to look for meaning in the shit posting world. Much of the content about Bateman is also to be taken lightly. Most people just use it as motivation to go to the gym or dress well. Yeah. And literally this sentence just like invalidated the point that you and everything that you wanted to hammer home, like your last 8 paragraphs. And keep in mind too, right, we're gonna look here, last time this chick made an article was 3 months before this, right? She probably sat there and like jiggled her lady nuts for like fucking 3 months, and then all of a sudden she was doing this last second because she doesn't want to get fired from Vice or something. She's probably sitting at her cubicle, hasn't done work in 3 months, and she's sitting there, and she goes, and she writes all this, and then she puts this in last second. She probably was like, oh wait, that just invalidates everything I just said. But she knows that she's out of time to write something else, right? Like, legitimately, she interviews one person. She doesn't say, oh, this is Fred, and he runs memes about this, or he makes memes. She interviews a random person. She probably didn't even actually interview him. A random person named Fred, and she Googled one word, and then she wrote an entire article, and then she invalidates her entire article. She invalidates the entire article that is trying to make fun of the Literally Me community. With one sentence at the end of her own article, and oh my god, dude, why is she out of the kitchen? I don't fucking know. So this is bad. I don't understand why this exists, but she wrote that. So like I said, she probably was out of time. She probably doesn't do her job very well. So she goes and she does this. So, and then you keep going. It says people who take his character seriously are in the minority and might have found other avenues for their anxieties. I mean, you'd hope. Alright, so it says, back when the movie was released, poor Christian Bale struggled to believe when a bunch of bankers unironically told him they loved the movie. Let's just hope he hasn't downloaded TikTok yet. They ended on that. Bruh. Okay, so Christian Bale, dude, I freaking hate this when actors are like, man, I don't understand how anybody could have liked a character at all that I portrayed. Like, oh my god, dude, actors are sometimes the dumbest people you've ever come across. And I'm sorry, Patrick Bateman is literally me, but Christian Bale's takes on like socioeconomic stuff is just cringe. He is actually kind of dumb. So, anyways, yeah. She put that in there because even after completely invalidating herself, she wants to try to turn it back and say, oh, but bad people, you know, look up to the Literally Me male characters, right? You know, like there's a zillion, and I've counted, there's literally a zillion, like exactly, just hit a zillion, bad female role models out there, right? And I'm not gonna lie, there's bad male role models out there, and there's bad role models out there, period. But when dudes look to fictional characters, and like I said, this has been going on forever, right? Like for Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, and they see these people, and you can take out the good parts that you really like, and you say that's what a man should do, you know, and you have a moral compass, and you like part X of somebody. I think that's what a lot of the people here are doing. But here they are. She's trying to make it sound like that's not what a lot of the people are doing. You know, it's the evil. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. The bankers are, you know, them, right? A lot of the bankers are them. So a lot of the bankers are probably actually bad. But you know, she's trying to make it sound like the people that like the Literally Me characters, that like the motivation to get better, to make the world better. It's just bad. So anyways, alright, so just real quick, I guess we're going to go with the tagged down here. So, Patrick Bateman, American Psycho, Sigma, serial killer, masculinity, capitalism, consumerism, lifestyle, I guess. Vice International, Vice France. Why did they throw in Andrew Tate? Oh, heck. Andrew Tate. If you look up Andrew Tate, it pulls up Sigma male, bro. Oh my god. So Vice thinks Andrew Tate is a Sigma male. Okay. Okay, that's weird. Somehow they threw in Andrew Tate in here. Yeah, I guess they're trying to... I guess the people at Vice are trying to say they think Andrew Tate is the Sigma male. And, you know, I'll let them think what they think. I'll let you guys think what they think. But, yeah, okay, so that was cringe. Please, like I said earlier in the video, please, 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 do not take this as an invitation to find anybody, harass anybody. Please don't do that. But at the same time, this was bad. I'm sorry. This was just this was bad, dude. It really is. This was a poor take. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She didn't do proper investigation. 3 months, and her entire investigation was she asked one person, and they had like a 10-second reply. And she Googled 2 words, and she turned out of 3 months from her last article. She had 3 months to work on this article, and she made it just a complete misunderstanding, and she strawmanned an entire argument and tried to make the entire Literally Me community look bad. So I think to give constructive criticism, I would say don't be a leftist soy cuck. You know, get red pilled, hit the gym. When you do investigations, you know, put more time, put more effort into your investigations. You know, work more than like once out of every 3 months, and that's just probably what I'd say for, as far as I would say for constructive criticism. But anyways, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of video. This is really my first time making a YouTube video for the He's Literally Me Bro brand. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts down below. Do the YouTube things like comment, subscribe, or if you didn't like it, dislike the video. Give me your thoughts down below. And as always, follow me on the Facebook and the Twitter and all that crap. You know, the things that all the cringe YouTubers tell you to do in the comments. Well, do that for me. And yeah, I hope you kings have a wonderful day, and I hope everything goes great. Thank you so much.